The Houston Rockets might have one of the NBA's worst records, but Jalen Green is the main reason their future seems so promising. Green is Houston's head-at-the-rim rookie, averaging 19 points since early February. That's when he began scoring not just with dunks and layups at the rim, but with great efficiency all over in mid-range with pull-ups and with fluid off-the-dribble three-pointers, even with defenders right in his face. Green is making 39% of his threes and taking step-back jumpers even against some of the league's better defenders like OG Anunoby and an all-defensive team guy like Bam Adebayo. Green has the tools to become a pick-and-roll demon because of his shooting ability combined with his elite athleticism. He's also now operating pick-and-rolls with increasingly better patience. He's now averaging 3.3 assists to only 1.7 turnovers, and he's making natural reads as a passer, knowingly drawing help defenders on drives only to respond with kick-out passes. Unfortunately, the Rockets have a top draft pick for a reason. But he's only 20, and he's already displaying shades of some of the league's most explosive scorers, and he's doing it for the bright future Rockets.
When I look at Jalen, it's hard for me to put a ceiling on him just yet because I look at him as somebody who's going to become a great elite scorer first, which is going to open up his playmaking. And not because he can't play make already, but because he's so good at scoring. It comes so easy to him when he's on the floor that when defenses start overloading and they put 2 on the ball, or they start putting 3 on his side of the floor, it's going to open up those passing lanes. It's going to make those passes easier for him to do. I think he does need a good point guard next to him, not because I don't think he can get the offense settled for himself, but because honestly, it's better for him right now early on in his career if somebody else creates the offense for him and he's coming off those screens and he's able to get a quick running start. So for Jalen, he can definitely be a primary ball handler. I think I used to look at Zach LaVine as a comparison. I think somebody not from the mid-range perspective or for a three-point perspective, but that example I just shared with you about being a primary scorer, then playmaker, but still being good at both of those things. I think DeMar DeRozan is a really good example. A guy who can get to his spots, who knows how to be able to beat a defender, but he can still play make for others and get others involved as well. If you compare his base at the start of the season to what his base is now, he has a much larger base while still maintaining the quick first step that he has. And now in the offseason, when you have more time to work on your upper body while still maintaining those 100, 200, 1,000, 2,000 shots every single day in the summer, his shot's not going to go away from him because as you add more weight, sometimes you worry about the touch on your shot. That allows you more flexibility and time to be able to work on that. And they've already had this game plan in place in terms of how they're going to help Jalen Green be able to increase and just, increase his frame and build, grow into his body.
My favorite Jalen Green game this season was against the Grizzlies. It was in Memphis. The Rockets won, and Jalen Green was doing stuff that we've seen Ja Morant do. He had those wow moments. You know what I'm saying? He made you go, wow. Like you can't be an elite player unless you have moments that make someone just shake their head in amazement. Green hits this 3-pointer in the corner, heavily covered, and he just shows the potential to be a threat off screens and handoffs, the type of player who in the right circumstances could be a constant threat on the court, not just when he has the ball on his hands, though on ball stuff. I mean, that's when he makes you go, wow, with some of those explosive crossovers and huge plays at the rim. It's funny because Green, he started slow in the G League, and then he got better, and that's when he solidified himself as a top 2 pick, which isn't unlike his rookie season when people were calling him a bust 2 months in. But now he's improved again, just like he has every year of his life. And even though right now he's not a Rookie of the Year candidate, you can't overlook Jalen Green as a candidate to become the best player in his draft class. It's on the Rockets to surround Green with the right teammates as he develops into whatever it is that he's going to become. One of those players could be Green's fellow rookie, Alperen Sengun, who's a favorite of mine because of his unpredictable movements and the passes that make you go, wow.
Oh, wow, what a play. What a play.
When you look at the way he plays basketball, it's just with a lot of finesse, with a lot of good basketball IQ. He just knows where to be on the floor. And as a young player, that puts him at an advantage. And that's why I think the Rockets are really happy with playing him as a backup big, because you're not putting him in a lot of pressure where he's starting and he's having to defend these starting centers. You're allowing him to play within his strengths, play with the second unit, be one of the primary facilitators, and also, by the way, learn how to play a pick and roll style scheme defensively so he can grow eventually into a starting center. So he's definitely done a lot of great things. You've seen it early on in the season he has some positions against Giannis where he held his own. You saw him in switches where he's able to kind of hold his own in isolation, kind of at least funnel the ball handler towards the help defender. You're seeing him in the post at least do some good things. And then most importantly, pick and roll. I mean, he has moments where he gets beat and teams are going to continue to attack him because he's only 6'9". But from what he's done with his position, the ability to block shots and recover, those are a lot of good tools in place for the Rockets to be able to hopefully make him a centerpiece for the way they like to play defense, which is drop coverage and mix in some switch.
Rockets rookie Alperen Sengun is a bit of an oddball player who does his own thing, but he's so talented. His best skill is passing. He throws the ball through closing windows. He's a risk taker, and usually it pays off. He brings some pizzazz to the floor too with his passing. And he's a tricky scorer on the post too. He can go fast to get by a guy like Jimmy Butler. He can put his shoulder into PJ Tucker. He can methodically back down anyone. And like I said, he's tricky. In the same way players enter the NBA learning from Steph, it's as if Sengun follows someone like Jokic, a playmaking five whose upside will be based on his ability to stretch his game to the perimeter. Sengun has displayed three-point shooting talent, but he's making only 25% of his jump shots. And at 6'10", he knows where to be on defense, but he's got to get quicker. As a rookie, he's looking the part of a big man who can create shots for himself and others, though. If the rest of his game grows in Houston, Sengun and Jalen Green will rise together. Thank you for watching The Void. Let me know in the comments what you think about Jalen Green and the Rockets, and while you're there, please be sure to subscribe.